I'm not Gen Z. I'm millennial.
Ugh.
What?
I would start telling people you're Gen Z.
We're always catching strays. I don't understand it. All we're doing is trying to exist.
Welcome to the show, where air takes the floor. Lee and Rich on the mic.
Welcome to the AI Guys podcast, where we make artificial intelligence easy to understand for everyone. I'm your host, Lee Dixon, and as always, I'm joined by the guy who's taking AI blueprints to build outs, Rich Swire.
Oh,
How we doing? That's a deep cut.
Fantastic.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, we're gonna do another kind of quick hit episode. Today we're doing platforms or platformic approaches versus like the traditional chatbot builders.
Did you say platformic?
Platformic approaches.
Is that a word? That's amazing, actually. That feels like a spelling bee word.
Yeah, platformic, and then I fail. But I think it's a good one. And
that's great.
That's where I think we need to jump in. Let's talk about a platformic approach, Rich, because I think with chatbot builders, we've all kind of come to know that this is what exists in the space when someone thinks of I think a lot of times a point solution, right? Oh, I need something on my website. Oh, I want to build an SDR. Oh, I want to build a support agent, or even CRMs building out these agents, as we've talked on other episodes, or at least these bots, let's say, that exist kind of in the space. So I figured we can kind of hit on a few topics there where there might be value in the early stages on it. And then, when you might want to start, I guess, looking at the scalability becoming an issue.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important for, to think about how we got here and why, these chatbots exist. You obviously had...
Yeah, take me back to a simpler time, Rich.
Yeah, let's go back 3 months ago.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're talking about the rise of ChatGPT, obviously it has that chatbot experience, right? That live chat experience that we all can come to know and love on every website in the bottom right corner. But obviously has expanded it to be driven, dramatically by, the power of the LLM, which most of these other chatbots prior to AI were either driven by some sort of database query or, that lame experience that you have on Intercom, which is like do one of these 5 articles help answer your question? And it's like, no, right. I don't want to read 5 articles and then tell you how to do your job.
Yeah. So the prescriptive decision trees sucked. Yeah. They always did. So
the good news is AI and ChatGPT kind of showed that there is a way to actually give you the answer you want without having to dive through this kind of hierarchical, yes, no, was that good? No, and which quite honestly, let's be honest, like the live chat experiences, I've never been on a website where the live chat experience is good.
It's always been a detriment. It's never been a solution that someone's like,
it's so bad. This is my standing theory of why adoption of AI is also not necessarily taking off in the world of the chat experience, is that people just kind of ignore it. It's like the banner ad, right? They just kind of go, I've tried this whole clicking on the icon on the bottom right and it never works well. Well, that's, and that will be overcome because I do think people are going, well, maybe these guys actually do have AI behind it, right? But then lo and behold, most companies don't. It's shocking to me that, even OpenAI, I go to OpenAI and I go on their chat, their support chat, and it's Intercom and it sucks.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute, you guys have
you guys have it all there.
You have it and you're not even exposing it. So yeah, I think we're in this kind of adoption cycle of any sort of new tech. It's going to trickle down into these, different endpoints, and live chat is going to be the first, low-hanging fruit for AI to kind of transmit into. And of course, you have all these live chat type companies that exist and support applications that are now scrambling to figure out how do I pull AI into my system and now make it the primary interface. The problem is that they kind of have to go, well, shit, I'm going to throw away all this engineering. We have our entire application and how people use it is based on this. Whether people are like it or not, doesn't matter. We've got thousands of people paying us for this experience. So how do we evolve that experience without, killing ourselves and our customers freaking out? At the same time, how do we stay relevant? So this is the classic incumbent innovator struggle.
Yeah.
But the thing about live chat is it's one element of and one experience and that you would have with AI, right? And I think it is very limited in when you go to think about deploying AI at scale.
Yeah.
What you really want to do is have AI live, unchained, right? Untethered from your website, and not make it that a requirement that you have to have it either living within live chat whether it's behind a paywall or behind a password or even publicly on your website, that's only part of the solution, maybe 5 to 10% of what you're going to ultimately use AI for. And so what I mean by untether is, unlock ChatGPT, right? Unchain ChatGPT from your desktop, or unchain your live chat experience from, that, pop-up, and give it autonomy, give it agency, and allow it to go out and see the world, right? And that means kind of allowing it to, connect with third-party systems, connect with multiple applications, which most live chat agents really don't do. They just kind
use
of
at the same time, even like not just one or the other.
Today, most live chats just kind of live in their own proprietary knowledge base, which is typically outdated or
not accurate, anyways,
inconsistent, right?
Yeah.
And you want to give it, more. You want it to be able to call people, send messages, text messages, answer emails, integrate autonomously through your third-party apps, and even work. Have more of a custom, more of an engaging experience for your internal users, right? ChatGPT kind of has that more advanced experience where you have threads and you have projects and you can experience kind of LLM and you can organize it kind of as the new, desktop or workspace is what they're trying to become. And, this is where live chat's limitations are very apparent. I do think there's two things are going to happen, is that I do think that live chat companies are most likely going to kind of die a miserable death because they because
I love how you delivered that though. It's
because
they're basically done.
I do think so. I do think so, because
it's not an overnight thing, but I mean, everyone's been slapping AI stickers on their business for the last 2 years, and you're getting the same experience that you're used to getting.
I'll tell you why they're going to die.
10 years, and doesn't make sense.
I'll tell you why they're going to die is because seat licensing is going to be the killer. Number one, I put a live chat on my website.
Because they can't just compress it down. They can't just say, okay, we'll go to a flat rate, because that's where they're making their money right now.
No, they're screwed. It's like any sort of innovation cycle where your business model is so tied into, and you've created, your value proposition is so tied into your pricing model that you can't move left and right, and you can't compete with somebody who can come in with a 10x cheaper, maybe even a 50x cheaper solution, then without it affecting your P&L, you are on the chopping block, because they're bloated. Look at these, I don't know how big they are, but let's call it the top 3 live chat companies out there, livechat.com, I think is one, Intercom's one, all these support agents, right? They have thousands of employees. Why? It's not that complicated of a product, right? And now with AI coming onto the scene, it's like, wow, I can actually just spin up an AI agent that is trained on my live chat, and I could, plug it onto the website. I mean, we do it here at Rhea, right? We have a live chat plugin that you spin up and plug in, and we don't charge seat licensing, and it's super inexpensive. So now you're going, okay, I've got a better solution over here with AI.
Yeah.
More malleable, more trainable. I have ownership over my model, which is very
full control.
important.
Yeah.
I'm not licensing. I don't have my model locked in a box with this third-party vendor. I don't get vendor lock-in problems, and I'm not being charged 30, 40, 50 bucks, or even worse, 80 bucks, because now they have this advanced AI, which is total crap.
Yeah.
Now they're going to, give us 80 bucks a seat. And even if for a small company has 30, 40 support people, that's a ridiculous amount of money. And they're not even really needing those seats anymore, because the whole point, which is the contradiction in their model, which is what's going to kill them, is that you want to automate all that. You want the AI to answer all those questions. You don't need to have the support team monitoring live chat anymore, because think about the dramatic shift from support team sitting in front of desks and getting pings every time somebody comes on live chat and gets escalated to the team, and they're sitting there ready to answer live.
Yeah.
Okay, now AI is going to do unlimited, inquiries to come in. AI is going to probably answer a large majority of that because it's been trained well. And if it's not been trained well, now you've allocated your support team to focus on training the AI, not answering tickets.
Yep.
And that scale is where companies are going to see the ROI. They're going to say, well, wait a minute, I get way more scale if I teach them how to, if I have my sport agents teach the AI how to fish, right?
Yep.
Instead of giving them fish. And then, yes, there still might be some escalation, right? There's going to be some that kind of the AI is not trained on and it will hit a human, but that might not even require a seat, on this support system, because that could just be a ticket. That just be a ticket that lands in some sort of system that they respond via email or call the customer and so forth.
I'm your
they don't
dedicated
need a
rep to do X, Y, Z.
Why am I paying for a seat on some sort of live chat system that, quite honestly, no human is even occupying? So, it's the one seat. It could just be one seat, and it's for the AI.
100%. And it's interesting too, because I think you transitioned perfectly, kind of where I was thinking this was going to go, anyways. But from the channel focus aspect with chatbots and website assistants and all that kind of stuff has always been like, here it is. And you said early on, the experience has always sucked. It's never been someone like saying, thank God that was there. So like the easy transition to agents is really the fact that there's like multi-channel orchestration, right? You can do chat, email, voice, text messaging, and all of it comes back to that same agent handling all of these different ways to communicate. But the scalability piece, it almost is at a detriment for the business to say, well, I'll just wait until like the writing's on the wall for our live chat provider, right? Because at some point things will get sunset. At some point they will either start to merge together, or solutions just won't be improving at a rate where you need it and your competition has it. So it's almost it's almost to their advantage to start building something, even if they have a working, let's air quote it, right, solution in place, is because now you can take the things that you like and build around that and add the things you never had that you always wanted. And now you own it. And then you say, I can own this, like you said, for a fraction of the cost. And there you are. Now you're ahead of the curve versus behind it.
Yeah. I mean, the reality is that, we've said this in many episodes, is that the current business model of SaaS is going away.
It's why HubSpot doesn't invite us to their cons, by the way. They won't they won't let us show up.
The only reason why it hasn't gone away is because no business wants to sit here and spend it, because after investing a lot of money implementing it, and it's running their business, and that's great. I mean, but there will be a point in time where the value proposition of AI and the maturity of AI will supersede the pain of switching from one solution to another. In fact, AI will probably help make that process very seamless. And so we're not there yet, but you're starting to see some of the low-hanging SaaS products just kind of get replaced by AI in general. And I think that's something that I don't think anybody can disagree with. Now, there might be some SaaS companies that evolve and change, and they're smart enough to kind of weather the storm. But quite honestly, the SaaS business model of, charging per seat and assuming that the human is the user of the software is where it's flawed, because we are moving toward an agentic, kind of framework of how you run a business. Again, not tomorrow, but we're moving that route, right? It's no different than in 1994, 1995. I would say, hey, everything's going to be on the web. Like, you're not going to get CDs. You're not going to install Microsoft Office. You're not going to. Why would the browser is going to be the access point to everything that you know and work on? And people thought I was crazy. I was like, I don't understand how could you get such a sophisticated application like Excel on through a browser? I'm like, bro. I mean, read the writing on the wall, man. Like, and do you enjoy installing stuff on a CD and looking for that 80-digit code and then paying $800? For like an upgrade of like, give me a break. Like, and software providers knew it. They were like, oh man,
they'll charge until they can't anymore and just pretend like it's never happening, but they're building it behind this. Yeah.
Right. And then one day Google came out with Google Sheets and people were like, oh, okay. And it's free. Right. Think about that. Like, Microsoft's biggest part of their business is Office, and Google's like, yeah, we just spun it up on the web and it's free. And so it's like, oh, okay. So today, I'm still shocked people use Microsoft at this and pay the way they do. I mean, Microsoft is smart enough to figure out how to get to the cloud, and they figured out how to maintain kind of corporate customers. But it's shocking to me people still use it because you have other options. But anyway, long story short, I mean, live chat is going to be I think one of the first things that gets kind of replaced by an AI first, AI only solution. And I think, part of this episode is comparing it to like, what does it mean to be building out agentic, let's just say support systems, because that's really primarily where live
They're
chat
digital
lives.
employees at that point. You're not building it's not a piece of software anymore.
What's the difference between building out a support model, a digital support employee, and a live chatbot? And I think the comparison is very obvious. And this will be my final conclusion, which is, on one side of the picture is that you're really trying to create the smartest person in the room, the person that knows everything about your company, your product, your processes. And that is something that you want to own. That model, that AI model is stamped with your information, your proprietary information. It's something that you want to own. You don't want to pay some vendor seat licensing.
It can't walk out the door on you.
Can't walk out. It's an employee. It's the same reason why you wouldn't, let's just say let's say your most important employee didn't work for you, wasn't on your payroll, and was working for somebody else, and they could at any point in time, until if you stop paying them, all the legacy information, all the training, all the insight, all the tribal knowledge that person has goes away. Like no company would do that. If you said to a CEO, "Hey, is your most important employee that knows everything about your business contractor?" No, that would be like suicide, right? So this is no different. So when people start to wake up to the idea that AI and the model is probably the most important component of what they need to own and have access to, and not be have to pay, if somebody wants to access that intelligence, have to pay another $60 a month to do that. No, it should be something that's proprietary within your four walls. Number two is, we've already kind of touched on, which is, support is not something that's just one channel, one user experience, one endpoint, right? It's not customers logging on.
Every engagement is unique in some way.
It ties to everything inside of your business, not just a live chat bot that helps answer questions to customers at 11 p.m. when nobody's working. It's internal facing. It could be something that your employees work with. It's a co-pilot interface where if they need to answer hard questions, that the AI can provide answers. If they need to draft up an email to a customer based on certain criteria, it expedites their work on that. If they also need to get the latest release notes from the product team, or the latest updates of this service or that service, or their latest pricing, or the latest insurance, if you're requirements, if you're a doctor's office, all that stuff is ever changing, ever moving, and you want the AI to be the best point of providing that information, which is well beyond the scope of what a live chat does. In fact, most knowledge bases that we come across are at best dated, and at worst have 50% of it is garbage, because it's never been cleaned out, because the value proposition isn't there. Like, people are like, yeah, we have the live chat, it works okay, but the knowledge base,
it's a waste of everybody's time to do more with it.
But if I go back in and have to go through and update the entire knowledge base, man, that would take me years. But now it's like, wait, I have AI now. And if we make a system that's more scalable and that has this AI can learn as it's working with us, just like an employee would learn. Well,
we share
our knowledge
documentation.
base, our knowledge base will actually become very good. And then, oh, by the way, then the AI, once it's kind of up to speed, it's up to has the latest and greatest information, can now start writing our knowledge base. So it has so much more utility, so much more capabilities. So yes, you can continue to invest and pay seat licensing for shitty live chat bots, or you can allocate your capital toward building out the future of what is really going to drive your business, which is an agentic workforce that you own and control, that you're not paying seat licensing for. You think of it more like an employee, and say, I need to build out the smartest, set of digital employees to help me execute all these different functions. And yes, they might communicate via live chat with my customers, but it's like the least important thing that you really need to focus on. Just like it's just one communication channel. But the reality is this thing is going to kind of live and breathe throughout your entire DNA of your business, and give you so much more capacity to scale without having to worry about, okay, boy, this is going to break my wallet.
Yeah. It's a good way to end it, man. So for everyone listening, thanks for joining us on this episode. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to stay in touch. Also, check out our Substack for more content, which will be linked to this episode to continue this discussion. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and we'll see you on the next episode. Take care, everyone.
Welcome to the show, where air takes the floor.